Let's jump to our second segment here. We got plenty of 2-0 teams as well. I believe that there's 9 2-0 teams in the league heading into week 3. We've got the Dolphins, Ravens, Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, 49ers, Falcons, Saints, Bucks. So heavily into the NFC, there's only 2 AFC teams who are 2-0, the Dolphins and the Ravens. So we're going to talk about who we think is the best 2-0 team and who we think is the worst 2-0 team. Jack, do you want to start with who you think is the best 2-0 team?
Yeah, I'll start with that, and I'm gonna go with the time honored classic, right? Maybe it's the low hanging fruit, and that's the 49ers. I'm gonna take the 49ers. They started losing some points to the Rams late, but I think the Rams are a half decent team,
Yeah.
But the 49ers have pretty much looked like they're right, like have pretty much stayed in stride. It feels like maybe Brock Purdy had a slightly tougher game last week against the Rams as opposed to other games, but it's not like it was bad. Like it wasn't terrible. They won. Christian McCaffrey is still playing great. Like the team, just the team is still playing like they were last year. And last year, I think I called them to win the Super Bowl. So if they're still playing like they were then, I'm gonna take them as the best 2-0 team. There are definitely other good 2-0 teams, but I'm gonna have to stick with that for now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? I think that the 49ers are also the best 2-0 team. But if you look at the NFC, I think that Dallas has a better defense. And some people will say that they're better overall, but the skilled players that the 49ers have in their offense, I definitely trust more than Dallas's offense. I say that as a Dallas Cowboys diehard fan. So I think the 49ers are probably the best 2-0 team, but it's hard to argue with what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now. They've played the Chargers and the Pats. So, I would say 2 non-playoff teams, but not the worst teams in the league. These are teams that plenty of people have had going into the playoffs. Maybe not the Patriots, but the Chargers certainly.
Some analysts did.
But they're easily the best offense in the league. They're scoring the most points. They have the most yards. And on offense, I should say. Most points on offense, I should say. And they have just like an average defense, but nothing atrocious. It's kind of right in the middle of the pack. And I like them pretty much against anyone, including the 49ers, because I don't know if I trust the 49ers defense to be able to stop what they're doing in the pass game with Miami. So if those guys had to go head to head, man, that would be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
So I definitely would say that it's got to be the 49ers or the Dolphins. What do you got for the worst 2-0 team, Jack?
The worst 2-0 team. Well, not going to be in the AFC because I don't think the Ravens are definitely a better 2-0 team than any of the other. And even though I'm a Dolphins hater, there are some clearly worse 2-0 teams in the NFC. I'll be honest here. I'm gonna. It's almost like you got to take your pick of the litter here a bit, but I'm gonna have to go. I think with the Saints, and I'm gonna go with the Saints because. No, you know what? No. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I like Baker baking. I like some of the defensive pieces. Mike Evans. They definitely still have some pieces, but I think the Commanders. I think the Commanders have beat some better teams there. Wait, no, they beat the Broncos. God,
they beat Arizona and the Broncos.
Yeah, that's actually tough. That's actually tough. The Bucks beat the Bears and
the Vikings.
Who did the Bucks and the Vikings? You know what? I like that. Now, sudden change, Commanders. You gotta take the. At that point, just the teams that they've like barely beat those 2 teams. They barely beat 2 bad teams.
Bad teams. Oh yeah.
The Cardinals being like barely beat the Cardinals, and then had that like miraculous comeback against the Broncos that almost like wasn't a comeback, right? They went for a 2-point conversion. There was a PI, big massive PI on the 2-point conversion. That wasn't called, whatever. But like they barely won that game too against 2 not good teams. The Saints will beat, say, the Titans, who I think are half decent. The Bucks, there you go, beat the Vikings. I think the Vikings are half decent, even if they are winless. I think it's better than either of the teams Commanders beat. I think I got to go with the Commanders being the worst then. I mean, I like pieces. I think I called them to make the playoffs this year, I think, in our playoff picks. But, I mean, even though they're 2-0, it's not impressing me.
Oh, they've looked bad, and their defense is pretty solid, but they gave up quite a bit to the Broncos and Russell Wilson. So there's that. They gave up 33 to that team, and they were down big. It took that comeback and
Yeah,
basically a failed 2-point conversion
I
against
forgot
them
about all this.
to
Yeah.
to win. And then the Cardinals game was a last second drive at the end as well, and the Cardinals were beating them the entire game. So they really should be 0-2. They're 2-0. They're the worst.
Yeah,
But like you said,
yeah.
pick of the litter. Take someone in the NFC South. I mean,
Yeah,
none
yeah,
of these
three to
teams
choose
are
from. I
good,
mean,
and people like the Saints. I think Saints have the fifth best
yeah,
odds to go
Saints
to
have a
the
decent
Super Bowl.
defense.
Their defense, people say their defense is solid. I guess
Oh,
they've been playing good going back in
they
the
have some
last
pieces.
year.
They have some, and they have some defensive. Like they have some big pieces on that defense. They just couldn't. They would have had T.J. Gardner-Johnson. They had to trade him for like a fourth, like the last season or the season before or something, because they're in cap hell. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, they still have some decent pieces there. Adrian,
I do want to see it more than just the first 2 weeks. People are saying
yeah,
back to last season, but no one was watching the Saints. I mean, I wasn't at the end of last season. So they're saying, oh, well, the last 10 games or whatever, the Saints defense is one of the best. Okay. All right. But let's just see them not playing against the Titans and the Panthers. That's what I want to see.
Michael Thomas is back.
Well, here's the thing. Michael
Big
Thomas
reception
and
game.
Olave are there, and
That's a
Derek Carr
receiving
is
core.
supposed to be an
Taysom Hill is an offensive weapon. Okay,
yeah,
he's an offensive weapon. Pair him with two great receivers. Derek Carr is an average quarterback. I would
he's
say.
supposed to be the best in that division, and he was supposed to be an upgrade. Here's the thing: the Saints, by far of all the 2-0 teams, are scoring the lowest amount of points per game. They're scoring 18 points a game. All right,
Tough.
and the fact of the matter is, I saw Jared Stidham go into that Raiders offense last year and play it pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And so why do we think Derek Carr, who got benched over there, is going to do something for the Saints for this offense? I don't understand it. So I would put them on notice as well. And I don't like the Falcons, the QB situation either. So let's not, you know what I mean? But go ahead.
I like the Falcons. No, I just saw another piece, not to jump on the Saints hype train here, but you got to keep in mind they're also missing Alvin Kamara. Is out. He's got one of the most player with one of the most like 5 or 6. He's got like a 6 touchdown game in his history.
Yeah,
pretty good running back. Only 28 years old, even though he's been in the league for a bit. He's going to be out. He's going to be back in at some point. I know he's suspended for some amount of time. I'm trying to research this live and while recording, but I think he's going to be back at some point this season. 3 games, so he's going to be out this game. He's out. He's in week 4. I got to think they're just like that's boom. Add to this team. Team's got a decent amount of offensive talent there with Olave, Michael Thomas, Taysom Hill, Derek Carr.
Alvin listen, Kamara. On paper, I agree. It all looks
positions.
Great. I
top
took
10
them,
defense, huh?
I took them to win this division going into the season.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right.
But if you watch the games, I think that the Falcons and the Bucks have both looked better than them. I just from watching, now maybe that's not true. Maybe the Saints haven't hit their full potential. I would hope not because I picked them to win the division. But so I bought really low, and if the stock's rising, I honestly I'm thinking about selling. But if you want to jump on that train, go right ahead. I'm a little nervous. I'm holding right now, but I'm nervous.